the process of redoing the final and updating it. So, but it was the same final since, well, there were a few minor changes, but it's been almost the same final since I started in 2007.
Okay. How do the students review for their exams?
Well, they've got the flashcards. They've got online practice quizzes. I don't give them their exams back after the exams because we don't want to have to redo every exam every semester. So I recommend that they study through I give them a study guide and they use the resources however they study. I recommend that they study in their group because I think that's the best way to study, honestly.
So you create the study guide for them? Anything else you create for them?
To study? Well, I set up practice quizzes.
Okay. Do you know if students create any study materials for themselves?
Well, I think some of them print out stuff like the flashcards. I think that they take the study guide and go through and make notes on it. I don't know of anything else, though.
Okay. Are there current limitations you have today around assessment?
Well, I guess it's difficult to assess critical thinking skills.
Okay. What types of assessments would you like to do with your principles of marketing students that you can't or don't do now?
Well, I guess I would just say the same answer. I mean, I guess the way I look at principles of marketing, since they have me teaching big classes, is that I try to do the best I can to engage students and give them a foundation of knowledge that they can take forward in their life, whether it be as a marketing major or as any other major, right?
Right.
So I don't, I'd love to help students more, but I think that, it's such a full course already. Having them get deeper into the material would be very difficult. I mean, as it is, my first exam is has more definitions in it. My second exam, a lot of the multiple choice questions are starting to become more word problems, and it makes it a lot harder for them, So I don't know how to answer you other than to say, I suppose make them smarter. or some kind of interactive studying that walks them through and it helps them understand what a question means. Because that's the other thing I try to teach them is, these word questions. You need to look at them and read them first. You need to go through and underline the things that you have to do and cross off the stuff that you don't need.
Right.
Maybe you could do some kind of a little interactive study thing where you teach them how to read the question,
Wow. If we could do that for a lot of industries, I think that would be very helpful.
Well, first you got to write a good question.
That's true. Do you have any concerns around cheating on assessments? I
do. A couple of the classrooms that they put me in previously, the bowl-shaped ones, were very difficult for me. And honestly, I had a semester where, so we have a certain number of foreign students, and of course, culturally, other cultures don't find cheating to be as repugnant as our U.S. culture makes it, right? Like, so I've had classes where I had worse cheating because of a group of students that were international students that, yeah. So I try really hard to make it clear that I'm watching them. I try to have a second person in the room because it's a very wide room. And I try, also one of the other things about the room is these chairs have wheels on them. They're like little desk chairs. And I love that because they can get together in teams and stuff. But I have to be careful. One of the exams that I did, they were I didn't get them organized first. And so some of them, I had to like get people up and move things around so that I was more comfortable.
Wow.
So but I'm just paranoid, and my belief about cheating is that why give anybody a chance and tempt them,
Right. I hear you. How do you make sure your assignments fit into the time frame of the course? What types of trade-offs do you need to make?
Well, I've been doing it for so long, I'm pretty organized that way. I don't know. I guess to answer the question, I've already made the trade-offs.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
And how do you communicate to the students about the assignments? Is that all through Blackboard as well, or there's other ways?
Everything's in Blackboard or in my lecture.
Okay.
So I send emails out. I send announcements out rather with emails. So the way Blackboard works is that you can make an announcement, but you can also email it at the same time. That's what I do.
Okay. So everything goes through email. There's no like text messaging, texting students or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay.
No, does Blackboard have that?
I don't know. I was just curious.
Okay.
How they do.
I'd need a separate phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm already on 2 phones. I think I can't do any more. All right, so I want to just look at student and instructor reporting needs. What kind of metrics do you use to gauge performance? And are there any others you'd like to use?
I go in 120 students, right? So,
right.
I have had TAs before, but they've just announced that we will not be having any more because of cost cutting. When I have a TA, I will have them regularly go through the grade book and look at I haven't used Connect much for assessment. I haven't found it to be very helpful, I guess. I look at the grade book. I'll print the grade book out and look and, send emails out reminding people stuff and do all of it basically from that kind of flat file.
Okay. Are there any other types of things you'd like to use instead?
I'm not adverse to charts and graphs. I just haven't found that the stuff that's available there is very usable, and could be that it's better now. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I looked at it. Yeah.
Right. So thinking about the time of day in a week, when do you check the progress of a section?
So at night, on weekends, and during my office hours.
Okay. And is that's throughout the semester? Every week?
Yes.
Or okay. Well, what prompts you to look at an individual student?
I don't have a lot of individual student time.